Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and today we are going to start working on the mining rig. Oh, we have a lot of stuff to get done, so we're just going to jump right into it. First, we have to get started, so let's go. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend, and for those who are in the U.S. celebrating this wonderful holiday, hopefully you are enjoying your day off. If you have to work today, well, sorry to hear it. Hope the rest of your week goes better. Alright, so we have made a few updates to the ship. We've gone ahead and added in the landing gear that we were talking about adding. We've put the antenna in. Now, because of the way I wanted to mount this, I didn't want to change the line back here, so I ended up doing the little half ramp extensions on the front. I should actually make those heavy armor blocks. And then we had attached the antenna directly to that. So, like I said, the ship's not really meant for any type of combat. It really is just kind of a lifter, cargo transport style thing. Get that out of the way so we can see. And I did go ahead and break down and put an ore detector on it because what I want to do is I'm using this as kind of an experiment. So what we're doing, let's come up here for a second. We are going to turn on the antenna. See if we're probably going to have to turn on the the batteries. The ore detectors are on. Yeah, we have to turn the batteries on, which we can't do from there because we are completely powered off. So we'll do it from there. There we go. Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because what we're going to do, as you can see, we've got some silver and gold down here, pretty much like right here-ish. It's mostly in this area. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and start building our mining rig. So we're actually going to do a 5x5 drill array. So our drills are going to take up this much space, right? Alright. We are going to have a space and then a wall. And that's going to go up from there. Now, basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get, we're going to do it from the other side, trying to get the spacing down for what we need. And then that's going to be a wall there. Okay. Because we do have quite a bit of stuff that we're going to be adding in here. Now, I've sat down and I've actually penned out the design for this base. Well, I shouldn't call it a base, it's just going to be a mining rig. And what we're going to end up with is something that's basically 14 blocks tall above ground. And then as it mines, it'll be able to replicate itself and continue down. Now, I'm not going to set up the programmable blocks like we were talking about. Mainly because of the fact that I don't want to sit down and really write the code. But we may end up doing that at some point. We've got some things to iron out on this before we get to that point. So, yeah. So, okay, let's go ahead and we're going to turn our thrusters on. We are going to unlock our landing gear and we're going to move this ship out of the way because we basically were just using it to do a little bit of ore detection for us. And are all of our gear down? No. There we go. All your gear are down now, right? Yes. Okay. So we can turn off our thrusters. We can turn off the ore detector, and I don't have the antenna on the block line because, well, I'm not expecting to need to turn this thing on and off all that regularly. It's just right now while we're dealing with all of this wonderful stuff Everything is offline until the sun gets up here a little bit better, which is fine. We don't mind that. Okay. And we are going to bring you out. 2 more. Okay. So this is basically what we're going to end up with, is something roughly this wide. And then I'm going to have one side of this, and I'm trying to figure out which side I want to do it with. Probably because of the way that the sun traverses. It'll probably be on, maybe on that side. Hiccups, sorry. I should have oriented this a little bit better than what we did, but that's okay. I'm gonna put solar panels because the sun's gonna come up here. It's gonna go over there. So yeah, we'll put it. We'll probably end up putting it right here, I think. Because what we're going to end up with is effectively something that does that. Let me see here. So we've got that. That, yeah, okay. So we're going to end up with basically this, I think. Well, I guess it does help if I do everything from the same base, right? Alright. So this should give you an idea of roughly how big this thing is going to be. This is not going to be a small base. Or a small build, I should say. Alright, so we're going to go like that. Like that. Alright. And then, like I said, on this side, we are going to bring this out a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to actually build onto this as we go up. So I want this to be roughly where everything's going to start counting from. So what we're going to do is we're going to count from here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14. Okay. Now we're actually going to just go ahead and carry this over really quick. And once we have this a little bit further along, you'll see what we're planning on doing. Hopefully. What I'm doing right now is I'm just really trying to get the basics of what we need in place. And so we're just going to frame this out really quick. So you're going to do that. And then we'll repeat this on the other sides as well. Alright. Now we're going to make some modifications on this tower. And we're going to do that as we go. But first things we want to do. I'm going to take that out. We are going to put in our merge block. And this is the only merge block we're actually going to use in this build. Should have the parts for it. I do. That is awesome. Okay. And we are going to put one of you right there for right now. And we're going to put another one. We're going to put it there. And this is just so that we have power on the grid, because we don't want the cleanup script, which is always the bane of my existence. We don't want the cleanup script basically messing us over here. So, okay, so that's what we've got there. Now, since we have the merge block there, we're going to have basically a cap of sorts in here. I'm thinking, actually, let's do that instead. Now, what we're doing is we're basically trying to make it so that nothing in here is going to stick to anything, and we don't want it really rubbing up against stuff. And so what we're going to work on doing is we're going to say we want conveyor blocks. We can get rid of the merge, we can get rid of the wind. So now that we have that, we're going to need a connector. Alright, so we're going to end up with this here. We're going to take two straight pieces, and then we're going to put in a connector. So remember what we said, that this base is going to basically, hopefully, take care of itself. What is that? Since this is all technically one grid, we can get away with doing this. And then there's going to be a connector, or a conveyor rather, right there. Alright, and we're going to repeat this a little bit further down. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to use a single piston. We're trying to minimize clang as much as possible in this build. So we got the single piston. We're going to then do three connectors, or three conveyor junctions, sorry. Alright. And we want, on the same side that we did the other one, we are going to do another connector. And this time I do mean connector. And we want this. Like so. Oh, you're not gonna let me do it like that. Okay, so we're gonna have to do that. Are you gonna let me do it this way? No. Alright. So what we're gonna need to do then is we need to finagle this a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to exploit the physics in this game a little. Yeah. Alright, so we know that that's going here. We want this to go here. So this sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Alright. And let's see if it's going to let me do this. Like I said, sometimes it'll let me do it, sometimes it won't. Okay. So yeah, it's not gonna let me do that right now. Okay. This isn't going to be good if I have to build this backwards. Alright, so I may need to temporarily do merge block here. Alright, so what we're going to do is take this stuff out. We are going to do that. And we are going to have you there. You there. Let's see if that lets me do what I'm trying to do now. Because like I said, the game is kind of weird about how it lets you do things sometimes, but not others. Let's get you. And so what it should be doing right now is... Oops. Not completely screwing me over, but, you know, it's okay. Let's try this here. We want... No, I'm gonna have to finish the merge block. Okay. Let's go grab some components. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, do a quick cut while I grab these parts.
Fuel low.
Of course it is, because you know. Oh, that was close.
Fuel critical.
Alright. So now I have to actually bring myself all the way up here. Oh, let's see. I'll get power back from you. Alright, I'm gonna have to grab some ice and throw into one of these things. Alright. So let me go grab some ice. We're going to get this thing piped in and well, actually, wrong way. We'll do it this way. Head up in here. We'll get our jetpack refueled. We'll get... Well, I'm just going to grab some ice, throw it in one of the generators really quick, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so let's get some of the basic stuff done. We'll get everything set up, and we will be right back. Alright, and we're back. Okay, so had to do a quick change. Only really changes what we're doing down here, not necessarily what we're doing up there. So what we're going to do is, instead of having this be a connector, because the original design actually had the piston down below, which is where I got my confusion in. Okay, so instead of having a connector, what we're doing is we're going to put a block here, and we're going to put a landing gear on it. And so what we'll end up with is this piston will be able to push the landing gear down to however far it's going to go. It'll latch on, and we'll map out where the next connector in the line needs to be. Once we have that, what we can do is we can take a blueprint of this, and we can have it, basically we'll just build an extension on it. So what we'll do is we'll have a projector over here, which will oh, sorry, yeah, it'll project the blueprint for what we need behind it, as we need. So as it goes down, we'll have a welder at this point. So we did one block there. We do you. We're not going to be able to do that now. We're going to have to change this up a little bit. I think we're going to have to move you up one. I think that'll give us the clearance that we need. Actually, yeah, let's go sideways. So we'll go sideways there. And then we don't have to change any of the rest of it. Okay. So if we do that, let's go ahead and get rid of you, put you in there. And then that should give us enough penetration on the welding field to be able to weld up things directly behind it. But we're going to have to test that to make sure. What I may need to do is I may need to use one of the weld mods that extends this the area that the welder influences past that. Because what it generally does is it only extends a little bit past this block, so depending on how you have things, what blocks you have behind it, and how you have things positioned, it may not work quite the way we were wanting it to, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so it's actually not a bad thing if it does, because what we can do is we can just take that center line of blocks out here and replace it with conveyors and conveyor junctions. Alright. So let's go ahead and turn that off for a second. Alright, so that gets us to the piston, that gets us to there. We're going to go advanced rotor. As you know, love my advanced rotors, right? Alright, and then that should give us the clearance we need for these guys. That gives us one block below, which is basically where we wanted it. Auto rotate. You have once again ticked me off. Okay. And there. Okay, so that's pretty much the extent of what we're looking at. Like I said, the idea is we're going to have some things attached out here. And like I may go ahead and just gut the center section out of that, and just go ahead and put the conveyors in right there. Because that's gonna save me some heartache if I do that, I think. Because then we don't have to worry about the weld depth. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to put temporary blocks here while we take that out and put that in. Okay, and then we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. We want to go ahead and get the rest of these added in, just so we can get all of the grids connected, so we can get rid of the piece in the middle there that's holding this whole thing together right now. Alright. Now, I've had people ask me how do I come up with stuff like this, and like I said early on with this is heavily influenced by a design that Keen used in their intro video, where you'll see the little mining rig, or I should say the what is it, the space elevator. Now I don't know who built the original version of that ended up getting used in the video. So if you know, throw it down in the comments section so we can give a shout out to those folks, because they did a really nice job with it. But the rest of this is just now getting all of this pieced together. Over here, it's going to be, let's go, I think we're just going to go conveyor tubes down. At least for right this second, because we are going to change this up in a moment. Because now we need to do a little bit more. Alright, so we need to do these. I want that. 2, 3. And it would be the block directly behind this guy here. Let's go. Take you out for a second. And I should be able to put that gear back now. Yes, okay. Alright, so that gives us a whole lot of stuff connected there. And then we're trying to figure out where to put... I want to put one... Actually, I think we're going to do 2 refineries on this. We'll do 2 refineries and 1 assembler, because what we want, we need it to be able to process material, but we also need it to be able to build components for us. So what I'm thinking is we go... Let's pull you 2 out. We're going to pull that. And we're going to do refineries. So the question is do I want... Because originally I was thinking of having something... Maybe something like this. Where it was kind of attached in here. But yeah, kind of liking the idea of having it set up like that. And do that on both sides here. Yeah, okay. And then I'm thinking for this guy, just to make sure everything stays piped in, not going to work the way I wanted it to. Alright. So what we can do is we can do that. Right. And then what that'll allow us to do is have, you know, something that comes off of the side here. Now, I'm not sold on the overall design yet.
Fuel low.
Oh, crap. Out of fuel again, and I don't have any ice
Fuel
over
critical.
here. Do I have enough ice to get up there, or am I going to have to hoof it? Actually, do I have any ice? I don't have any ice. Okay. Let's grab some ice really quick. Because what I should be able to do, hopefully. Oh, we do have ice in there. Okay. Oh, why can't I get to that? Just because the tanks are turned off? Can I get to it now? Oh, I can. Awesome. Okay. Whew. Recharge really quick. There you go. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Okay. We have ice. I'd love to be able to actually.
Inventory.
You know what I might be able to do? If I turn off tank, if I do this, can I turn off the... No, I can have it... Oh, that is annoying, because I think they used to be able to turn off the, using the conveyor. So now the only way to do it is to actually turn off the block. Yeah, that's really annoying. Okay. Alright. Is what it is. Alright. Now, what I was saying is that for the refineries, I'm thinking I may actually do that with them. So that the refineries are all on one line. And then that'll let me basically build up something like that. And if I need to, I can always put in another connector down here so that we can pipe things out. So if we have a ground-based vehicle, you know, we can have it basically like a fuel line come off of here. But I can do that off of the cargo containers as well. Alright, so that is the basic portions of it. Everything else is just filling in details. We are going to throw in some batteries on here. We're going to put in some other materials. But I think that's going to do it for us for today. We are running a little bit over. When we come back next time, what we should have on here is we should end up with, like I said, we'll have probably 4 batteries on here. One, something like, basically trying to keep, actually no, I don't want the batteries on the, I don't want the batteries below the piston, I want the batteries above the piston. So we will end up with batteries here, I think. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work well. And I'm not worried about how they're positioned right this second. We'll deal with that shortly. But I do think that's going to do it for us today. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. What we will do next time when we are together is we will set this whole, we'll get this whole thing built out and welded up for what we have right now. And then when we come back next time, we'll do the test firing where we have this thing start mining. And then the piston extend it, and we'll basically see where we need to put the cut in order to get the next connector in the line. So basically it'll be able to pull itself down, hit that next connector, and we will be able to rinse and repeat. Once we have that, we'll be able to take a blueprint of the base. And we'll basically, I'll probably, honestly, you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably just figure out how long it needs to be, build a blueprint of that, of the extension that we need, and take it from there. But we'll deal with all that next time. So if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to be kept up to date, be sure to click the notification icon, that little bell looking thing next to the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, so much welding to do. I have to go grab parts. I'll probably take the shuttle, go fill that up, and just bring it back. It's probably going to be easier.